You'll want to be sitting down for this. The program is about to begin.
I think this is my favorite day because we have games, and more games to talk about today. You guys want to hear about some new games? Yeah! All right, so this first one, have you ever had this experience that you go shopping purposefully, get to the store, you get your thing, go to the checkout, and there's something really cool and shiny there, maybe by the checkout counter, and then you end up getting that too? That's how this game came to be. So we were in Seoul. It's going to be from another top Korean dev. This one, we went to see a AAA action RPG game. We saw that pitch. We loved that. We're not going to tell you about it today, but it's coming too. And they said, hey, we have this other team. Are you interested in maybe something mobile, cross-platform? I thought, maybe we are, maybe we are. They said this game will run on just about any device. This game is almost ready to ship. So we saw the pitch. It was, you're going to see it, it's absolutely gorgeous. Team had a brilliant NFT strategy. So I'm really pleased to introduce from One Universe, Dok Young and Sejun to talk about Champions Arena. Here we go.
Hi everyone, I'm Sejun from Korea and I'm the CEO of One Universe. I'm happy to introduce our new game, Champions Arena, here at amazing Galaverse.
And then let's go into it.
Hi everyone, I'm Dok Kim from Korea. I'm the CEO of Inflow and also the producer of Champions Arena. Good to see you.
네, 드디어 저희가 심혈을 기울여 개발한 챔피언스 아레나를 드디어 공개하게 되었는데요. 이 갈라버스를 통해 세계 최초로 챔피언스 아레나를 소개해드릴 수 있어서 너무 기쁘고 감사하게 생각하고 있습니다.
Finally, the time has come. We are more than excited to announce Champions Arena, a game we've been working on very hard. Galaverse will be the world premiere of Champions Arena.
예, 챔피언스 아레나는 턴베이스드 RPG로 100명이 넘는 전혀 다른 고유의 매력적이고 고유한 외형의 챔피언들과 다양한 아이템들을 NFT로 수집할 수 있으며 여러 개의 팀을 편성하여 파견 임무에 투입하거나 직접 조정하여 배틀을 할 수 있습니다.
Champions Arena is a turn-based RPG where you can collect over 100 unique champion NFTs, all charming in their own way, as well as in-game item NFTs. You can build multiple teams to send out on an assignment or control them directly for battles.
그리고 저희가 가장 중점을 두고 개발하고 있는 부분은 전투의 재미를 위한 최적의 게임 택틱과 덱빌딩 전략을 연구하도록 디자인하고 시즌별로 운영되는 PvP 아레나 리그를 통해 매력적인 보상이 지급되도록 설계하는 부분입니다.
Our biggest focus is developing the optimal game tactics and deck building strategies to make battles fun, and designing an attractive reward system from season-based PvP arena leagues.
네, 조만간 더 업데이트된 소식을 들려드리도록 하겠고 오늘 이 자리에서는 챔피언스 아레나의 데모를 플레이하실 수 있는데요. 지금 보이시는 화면의 QR코드를 통해서 가지고 계신 안드로이드 기기를 통해서 플레이를 즐겨보시기 바랍니다. 또 행사장 안쪽에 준비되어 있는 모바일 게임 테스트존에도 안드로이드 기기가 마련되어 있으니 많이 즐겨주시기 바랍니다.
We'll be back with more updating news soon. At Galaverse, you will be able to play the demo build of Champions Arena. If you have an Android device, please scan the QR code on the screen and try it out. There are some Android devices available at the mobile game testing zone near the laser tag. So come play and enjoy.
Lastly, we want to show you the trailer video of Champions Arena for the first time here.
World first.
So please enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you, Gala.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Do this. The wind is night. Wind, grant me your powers. Take this. Where are the strong? See if you can taste my super light ball! What? With justice! Dodge this!
Welcome to the data lake. Please keep your arms and legs inside the wormhole when traveling between games and monsters.
What you just saw was a little teaser for everything that's coming for Vox. Now I know the Vox Father has been saying this for years, but Vox really is at the heart of everything Gala. And we're so excited to share it with you. So, a couple of leaks. There's going to be a Vox feature film. There's going to be Vox Comics. There's new IP joining the series. And this July, we're launching a text adventure RPG game in Discord called Vox Odyssey. And it's going to be built by our very own in-house Vox studio. So what does that mean? What is Vox Odyssey? Well, you can go on adventures with your avatar, you can explore the world, you can earn resources, and become the hero of your own story. How cool is that? It is, thank you. You've heard of The Sims, right? Well, who hasn't? The creator of The Sims and SimCity, Will Wright, is teaming up with an incredible development team to build the Voxverse. I wish I could tell you more on this stage, but news will be coming on that very, very soon. There's going to be land where the rarity of your Vox matters, and if you hold a Vox, you can party with us in 2 weeks' time at NFT NYC. If that wasn't enough for you, there's one last thing no one else in the world knows and has never been done before. Your favorite collectible just got sold. Vox souls are coming. If you're going to be anyone in the Voxverse, if you want to be trusted or liked, feared or famous in Voxverse, you're going to need a little personality. So these soul NFTs will breathe life into your Vox, change your gameplay, and be very, very useful to you in the Vox world. Soul searching starts June the 22nd. In the meantime, get out your phone, scan the QR code, make sure you get yourself a Vox. Do follow us at the Voxverse on Twitter, and let's go on an absolutely epic Vox journey together. Thank you so much, Malta.
Wasn't that an incredible show and a great way to kick off day 2 at Galaverse? I'm Taco. Most of you know who I am, and if you don't, I'm one of your community managers, and I'm in the community 24/7. You guys are an amazing group. Obviously, we've gotten a lot of feedback over the last couple of days, and we wanted to address some of the big questions at the top of your minds. So we've pulled out 3 of the topics that you've been asking for about the most. So the second part of this show is 2 lightning AMAs about Gala music, and then nodes and gear. I'm super excited to hear more. Do you want to dive in? So Lane and Alex, why don't you join me on stage?
Hello, thanks for having us, Taco.
If you can sit in your giant cloak.
This is a weird chair.
So music questions. Can you go into more details about the platform? Will there be a mobile app?
Great question. Yes, in fact, can I walk you through a little video that shows what the platform will look like? Hey. Do I have the video? There we go. I can't actually see it. I'm going to turn around. Okay, so you are looking at a design preview of the Gala Music platform. This is what we're actually building out. This is the new site. This is your trends page. Anyone logged in or not logged in can see this. You're seeing every NFT on the platform, how it's doing, where its popularity is, how many listens it's getting. And when we're talking about listens, it's not just on the Gala Music platform. This also incorporates Spotify, Tidal, YouTube, other digital streaming platforms. As you support your artist, you buy their NFTs and you help them out, you're actually going to be sharing rewards together. This is your profile page. This is where you're actually connecting, collecting, and being able to engage with followers, friends. You see achievements here. These are badges, special tokens that you get for being an early supporter or one of the best supporters. We want to make sure we are rewarding all of our players, especially the early adopters. Going over now to the dashboard, This is the central collection point of Gala Music. You can see your achievements, your artist support, the rewards that you've earned, and you can get that on a daily breakdown. This is all about your collection, what you're doing. Your collection listens here are tracked every day. You're gonna see a little hover over of what that looks like where you've got your Spotify plays, Gala Music plays on the platform, YouTube and Tidal, all rolled into one, and then you can see that that day you were rewarded 256 G Music token for your efforts. Over here you're seeing your top artists in your collection, and then scrolling down the top NFTs. From in here, you're able to easily share any of the tracks or artists you want to do. You can also invoke the player. You saw a little sneak peek of the player there. Down at the bottom, you've got your node controls where you can see how your player nodes are doing. In your collection, this is where you're going to pair an NFT to a node. The player itself is built out in the web version right here. And you can see it's a very lovely Bucks Electric Pink player, which enables you to access any of your Gala Music NFTs, including any video or non-audio content that might be in there.
Come on, that's awesome. That was good. You mentioned the Gala Music token yesterday. Can you talk more about when it will launch and how it will be distributed?
Sure. So we're currently working with our partners on the initial token setup, getting ready for the exchange listing and that initial token allocation. Once that token is listed live on exchanges, we are going to be rolling out the music node software ahead of the full ecosystem going live in fall. So that's your sequence. Exchange listing, node, system goes live. When we get a little closer to the release date, we're going to detail out those requirements a little bit deeper. But in general, node operators who run their software for a daily time requirement will be receiving a portion of that mint. We'll give you a lot more detail coming up in the next few weeks. Once that full ecosystem is live, there will be a daily distribution of the Gala Music token, as you just saw on the dashboard. The distribution is based on plays on and off platform. Tidal, Spotify is off platform. It's weighted towards on platform. We want folks listening on Gala Music. We want you to be bringing people to Gala Music. So one day we are the biggest destination for music on the web. Right now we play with Spotify and Tidal because we need to bridge worlds. This is going to reward both holders of the NFTs as well as the node operators who have streamed them. And that will be for all of the player node operators, and when we roll out fan nodes, we'll take care of it.
This is a question I hear all the time. Will there be any other utility for music NFTs other than just the rewards?
I'm going to let Alex take this one.
All right, so as Lane mentioned, we're trying to support artists' career across the board, right? With other partners, and we want to grow them into successful artists with successful careers, and we want those fans to be rewarded as well. So there will be experiential and exclusive perks that include access to shows, meet and greets, exclusive merch, anything that an artist can lean into to build a tighter community around their fans. So for example, BTS, the K-pop band I'm sure most of you are aware of. The reason the BTS army is so strong is they feel like BTS consistently gives to the fans. So we want to work with artists that are consistently going to give to their fans and make it kind of like a fan club on steroids, where if you support an artist early and you could prove maybe you were one of their first fans. So let's say you were Taylor Swift's first 50 fans. You were going to her show when she was 14. And you had that NFT and you could prove you were one of the first 50. If any of you guys are Taylor Swift fans, you know she's very giving to the Swifties. And if you could prove that, why would an artist not fully lean in and engage with that person, those top 50, top 100 early adopters throughout their entire career? And so we want to make sure that we're building these tight-knit communities. We're working with artists that want to reward their fans, want to engage with their fans on a consistent basis. With that said, of course, you guys are getting in early on some, emerging artists, right? Like Jane Hancock, October London, etc. If these are artists that you believe in and you think XYZ song that they create is going to be a big hit, which again, we're tying in Spotify, Apple, YouTube, etc. into our algorithm. So if you think this is going to be the hit of 2022, or you think this song long term is going to be something that people remember, that's going to be valuable. So think again, if there was blockchain back in the day, if you bought an exclusive collectible of Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody and you held on to that thing, I'm sure that's pretty valuable. Now, of course, if you layer it in with a meet and greet from some of the guys, a long tour, etc., that is also leveling up, again, back to that steroid fan club. So again, you want to invest in artists, you want to invest in songs you believe in, and just know that the rewards will come if this is something you are passionate about, an artist you are passionate about, and when they lean in as well.
And just one more thing, in addition to the fan opportunities that Alex mentioned with the music NFTs, the tracks themselves, we're also thinking about the utility that's baked into the music token, the G Music token. Particularly the ability for holders of G Music to lock up a bit of their token to support specific emerging artists. By doing this, these long-term holders are able to receive access to the most exclusive artist content, but also to contribute to marketing pools for that artist. So we have a little crazy idea about emerging artist leaderboards. And when you've got your emerging artists, they're getting more and more support from token holders. When those artists receive a certain threshold of support, they're then able to get marketing budgets and campaigns. So if you think about Jane Hancock, if you're locking up to support Jane Hancock, she hits level 1, boom, that's a billboard campaign. She hits level 2, that's a billboard and bus campaign, etc. So I'm excited about that.
Let's talk nodes.
Let's talk nodes.
How will node owners earn? When will the player node owners be able to run their nodes? When will distribution drops happen for node owners?
How is that one question? So node owners are going to be able to be rewarded for both their contribution to the ecosystem via nodes running uptime, the initial work, as well as hosting those paired NFTs. The initial rollout of the node software, I mentioned earlier, it's planned for this summer. And yeah, once we've got the software up and running, this is all flowing, we will begin the player node drops. So anyone that's purchased player nodes originally will be getting backfilled of those previous music drops. I know founders nodes owners have got some, but we have kept some back for the player node owners for believing from day one and purchasing on day one. Like, we absolutely love it. So we have not forgotten about you. It's just taking us a little bit of time to get going.
Just to emphasize, we have not forgotten about you. How does all this disrupt the music industry? How is this better for artists and fans in order to grow Gala across the board?
So, for those of you who don't know me on a personal level, so I came to Gala a few months ago from 11 years at Sony Music. So that includes Columbia Records and their distribution arm, The Orchard. So when we talk about the industry, it's a place where I lived for over a decade. So I wanted to give that background so we could dive into that a bit more. So I think tech always helps break down barriers and change the game in a way we didn't know it could. So for example, something like Uber. Uber didn't come in and say, we're gonna disrupt the taxi business. What they did was say, we can actually make everybody a rider, right? And so Spotify came out, and that with the help of Napster and SoundCloud and others, and it was, right, you don't need a traditional label deal, you don't need X, Y, and Z things to make music. Everyone can be an artist if they, again, have the talent and everything that you need to be a successful artist, but everybody can be an artist. If you believe it, you can achieve it, guys. So what we want to do is basically create a whole new sector of the industry. For now, I mean, when we take over the world, it'll be a different story. But for now, to start, we want to create a new sector of the industry. So, for example, right now, the way artists and labels make music, make money from their recordings is just a few ways. So one of them is streaming, obviously we all know. Another is vinyl, which is back on the rise in the US. I don't know about some other markets, but vinyl's back. As well as licensing, so commercials, movies, if you're on Peloton, they pay for that kind of thing. We want to create a new division of that, and that's NFTs, of course. So if artists can take the music they're already creating, the art they already pour their heart and soul into, and we can use tech and blockchain to open a new door for them, a new avenue for them to step out and make some money, but also make connections with fans, find new audiences, build those deeper relationships. That's where we want to be. And again, the fans will get rewarded from that. That will all come. So what we're trying to do is basically break open untapped potential that I don't think people knew was there. And now that there's this Web3 world, and you guys are the experts, front runners, leaders in this, we know that that's what's coming, and we're going to be at the forefront of making sure that we can make those things happen, break down barriers, you know, make a whole new section of industry, tap into open untapped potential really, and make those deeper fan and artist connections. And I'm sure you've heard from Bucks before saying this, but if an artist has a fan, only 1,000 fans, which might sound small, but if they have 1,000 fans and those fans don't pay $20 a month in like a subscription, but basically that artist earns $20 a month from each fan, that's a very healthy living for an artist these days. And of course, as they reward the fans, as their music gets better and stronger, and we help them with marketing, etc., those fan bases will grow and an artist can bring in more money. So basically, we're trying to create an ecosystem where artists and fans thrive in a new way that they haven't before. And I think that will just completely turn the industry on its head, even though they don't know that's what's going to happen yet.
That sounds amazing. That does sound amazing. I think, well, do we have any more questions? Was that last one talking? We have a million more questions.
On the list.
And so I think next week we'll schedule a proper YouTube AMA to dive into all of it. A lot of you guys already know Lane. He's super active on Discord. If you don't know Alex, she's an absolute powerhouse. And so you are in really good hands with music. So I'm super excited about what's going on.
Absolutely. This is going to be fun. So we'll schedule a YouTube AMA for next week. For today, in the afternoon, after we've done this morning session, we'll also be hanging out in the secret cinema room. So if you want to talk more about Gala music, about the token, about nodes, about artists that you love that you think we should know, come find us, come have a chat. If you've got a cappuccino, bring it to me because I would love that. But please come find us and have a chat. We are around all day and we want to talk to all of you. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Now we're going to move on to Nodes and Geary. So, hey, Adam, over to you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Galaverse. I'm Adam Price. That's Galaverse. Good to see you again. Good to see you for the first time, if not. I work in the engineering and technology side of things, so I have brought two of my favorite robots to talk with you guys about Nodes and Geary. I mean humans. So come on out, guys.
Engineers are in the house.
I have with me Derek Jarvis, who leads the blockchain engineering team, and Chris Shooter, who you might also recognize, who's leading the node development team. We're going to start with Geary, though, talking with Derek, who you might know as Doc on Discord, by the way. And we're going to dive right into questions. So the first one is about what we have typically called Gala Chain, but is Gala Chain going to be its actual name?
It's definitely not going to be its actual name. It's what we've called it. The community has called it that. The community has also called it Geary, but the project is codenamed Geary while we're coming up with the official title.
Yeah, so stay tuned for the official name. Right now, codenamed Geary. Gary's what we're talking about today. So tell me about Gary, Doc. Is it based on a different blockchain? Is it a fork? How does it work?
Yes, it is a different blockchain altogether. It's not a layer 2 of Ethereum. It's not a clone of Ethereum. It's based on Hyperledger Fabric, which is a framework really that's managed by the Linux Foundation, and it's used by a lot of big companies that offer blockchain as a service in the cloud and in business-to-business scenarios. So it's been used pretty well, and we're tweaking it to make it more game and user-friendly for a wider audience of people. Instead of just having a handful of businesses communicating on blockchain, we want thousands of users, thousands of players, thousands of music listeners all using the blockchain.
And will this chain be proof of stake, proof of work? What's the consensus model look like?
It's not going to be proof of work because we like trees. We don't like incinerating them and wasting electricity and all that other terrible stuff. So proof of authority and proof of stake, it's going to be a blend of those things. So the control of it is flexible, which is one of the reasons we really like this framework, because you can start it off one way and then use the consensus to change exactly how things are approved or disapproved. You can use votes to say who gets to join the network and who doesn't get to join the network. So while it is technically permissioned, it's not only by one central authority, and it can be decentralized as much as we find works for each specific product.
All right, so talk dirty to me, right? What are we talking about in terms of transaction throughput and speed of transactions? Give me some numbers.
Big number, everyone wants big numbers. This is a question we get a lot, and it's a hard question to answer because transactions per second, at least in my opinion, isn't the best way to measure how good is a blockchain. It's pretty easy to run a test, as maybe you guys know with gaming rigs. You know, run a test under a very carefully curated environment that always works well, it's really high numbers, but that's not what we're trying to do. So we have seen numbers as high as 1,000 transactions per second running through the chain for a game that we're testing.
That's a little bit.
It's a little bit, but if you think about what your transactions are, it really depends on the game. I like to use the analogy of if you're delivering things in a vehicle. If you're delivering one thing because you're a courier and it needs to get across town really fast, a Ferrari might be pretty good. Get there really quick, assuming you don't care about speeding tickets. If you have 1,000 packages to deliver across town, a Ferrari is not going to be a good idea because you're going to be back and forth all day long. A delivery truck would be ideal there. And the framework we're using lets us set up channels differently. So we can have one game that operates on something like 5-minute intervals, like some of our match-based games do. Town Crush is an example. The block times are currently 1 second. So every second a block is being written. Not everyone knows this, but Town Crush doesn't actually have a database behind it. It's all based on chain. So every match being created, chicken being bought, chicken being thrown in to explode some stuff is a transaction on the chain. So it's moving pretty quickly.
Awesome. And for developers that want to build on our chain, what does that process look like? Are there going to be tools, educational programs? How does that work?
Yeah, so internally we're building our own SDK, I guess you can call it. It's actually a set of APIs that we use to interact with the blockchain. And maybe some of you know this analogy, the dog food analogy, where you want to make good dog food that you would even be willing to feed your dog. For those who don't like dog food, we can go with champagne, right? You want to make champagne that you actually enjoy drinking. So we're using our own SDK for everything that we build. So when you see the test that we've done with Town Crush and you're making purchases on the platform, we're using our SDK for that. When Town Crush makes calls to save your match or score your match, we're using our SDK for that. And we've gone through multiple iterations of making it easier to use, making sure it performs well, so that when we do start to onboard even more developers and games, we have this SDK we can give them. We've tested it some ourselves as developers and think that it's pretty good before we start really engaging with everyone.
Anybody out there that's going to be building on our chain? Oh, okay, a couple. All right, excellent. And if I had to push you on it, what would you say is your most exciting feature about our blockchain? What are you looking forward to? What are you going to do with it that you're excited for?
To me, it's just real games and transparency. Just being able to go further than you have an NFT and you own it, and thus you get this item in the game, right? I want to. Everyone's heard me use this example. I want to have a mega axe in some game. I want to increase the stats on it. I want to level it up. I want to see everything about that axe. And while we do this, we may be overambitious in times and realize, well, that was a bit much that we were trying to store about that axe, so we need to dial it down a little bit. Or this game could actually use a bit more information on chain for transparency, so that I can see exactly what gear was everyone wearing in that match to be able to validate that the score was correct. We're going to be tweaking that, playing with that in the games, and we'll find a good balance, I think.
So everything will be on chain.
As much as we possibly can.
All right, thank you. That's going to conclude Gary here. We're going to talk to Chris Shooter next about nodes. Chris.
Nodes.
Yep.
Yeah. As a famous musician once said, "What the frack is a node?" Do you guys remember that? Guys, it feels like it just happened.
No idea what you're talking about. All right, I'm getting some deja vu vibes here, though. Didn't I see you on stage last time?
Last night? You remember Vegas? Anyone remember Vegas? Yeah. So, funny story. I was at the last Galaverse showing a game I worked on called Last Expedition. Have you heard of it? So I go by Retired Astronaut on Discord. And no, I haven't been to space, but maybe someday I'll go to the moon. I saw what Gala was doing and this light bulb went off. In fact, I was talking to Wright. See, I used to have this mobile apps company. It was called Retired Astronaut Collective, and we made a few apps that you've probably played, and we used Amazon Web Services for the back end, what you know as the cloud. One day, I got a bill for $20,000 from Amazon. And if you're a small startup, that's a big amount. So I realized something. We've got all these computers sitting at home that could do the same things Amazon is nickeling and diming us for. Why isn't someone doing something about that? I attended Galaverse in Vegas. I learned about the 20,000 nodes, and I was sold. I couldn't get here fast enough, and I've joined the company. I work for Gala now, and I joined in February.
So basically a decentralized cloud such that the world has never seen before.
We'll get to that, yes. The nodes will take over.
So, tell me though, what can we expect with nodes in the future?
Well, we just completed a major refactor of the Node software. We're calling it Node version 3. And then another light bulb went off. And like Derek, I'm a big fan of eating our own dog food. We need our nodes to help us do that. We've rewritten the Node software to handle something called generic workloads. We use a system called Kubernetes, and I can't say if Eric's here, but he loves when I go technical. Kubernetes will give you the ability to have your nodes start, stop, and run all types of generic workloads.
In addition to that, I've also heard they're getting easier to manage.
Yes, I hope you've seen this, but with the new version of nodes, we're going to start. We have a dashboard to show you, and this dashboard will allow you to configure your nodes, set up things like API keys, and also let you see when they're online or offline, all from the web. And how about voting? Wouldn't it be nice to do that from a website as well? You can do that all now in our beta form of the Node dashboard at node.gala.com. Node.gala.com.
Node.gala.com?
Must be a typo. Yeah, try it out, guys.
And what are my specific nodes going to do in V3, and how will I get rewards?
Well, I know you want to know about music nodes, film nodes, specific game nodes. With Node v3, the generic workloads become specific to their node. For example, Last Expedition is an Unreal game. Its server is written in Linux, and it makes an executable. It's about 1 gigabyte. That server can be put into a thing we call a Docker container. Now that Docker container is then delivered to your node and is run by your node. And that's what this means is your nodes will be replacing the Amazon Web Service backend. No cloud. You are the cloud. You are the cloud. Not only that, your node now has the ability to do things specific to the game. If you want to host a tournament of the game on your node server, go ahead. You have a special NFTs that only work on your node server. Go ahead. You guys have played Minecraft, right? You select the node, Hypixel, all that. My kid won't stop playing it. Well, that's our node servers now. You can be that node that has the 100,000 people and get rewarded for being that node that has 100,000 people. Our plan is to kill the cloud, and with our help, I think we can. With your help, I think we can. And our help.
Blockchain and nodes both, man. These are game changers. These are things the world's never seen before. So that's it for Nodes and Gary. Give them a hand, guys. Chris Shooter, Node Development Engineer, and Derek Jarvis, the lead blockchain engineer. Hopefully these AMAs have answered some of your really big questions. We'll be sharing more information about Vox, film, and other exciting Gala projects in the Day 3 webcast tomorrow. For now, it's time for lunch. Get into the worlds and grab some food. Jason, Guardian of the Galaxy, take it away.
What is up? Okay, so right now this is live on Twitter. And I was in Discord talking to some of you guys until really early this morning, or rather later this morning than I would have liked. But one of the things that people were talking about is they wanted a little bit of information, wanted a little bit of extra information, specifically in Gala Gold. So what I'd like to ask each of you guys to do, you have your phones, they have internet, get into Gala Gold and let people know that we're going to be talking about some shit here. Because they have a whole script here for me. You guys can see it on the teleprompter. And I'm going to ignore it. I'm not going to say any of those things. And instead, I'm just going to talk about a little bit of stuff and then send you guys off into the world to explore. Does that sound pretty good? Does that sound pretty good? Does that sound good? Okay, come on, get people in there. Seriously, take out your phones, tell them to get in. Because we're gonna do a little bit of update and a recap. So, what do you guys think of the music notes? Awesome! Did you understand the importance of what they were saying? How amazing this is going to be, the player notes are going to be for people. Okay? Did you like that? Okay, are you sure? Because that doesn't sound very... Oh, come on! Okay, and how about Vox Souls? Yeah, does that sound good? No? Who was that? The Vox Souls are going to be super cool, and Cynthia is amazing. Cynthia and the entire Vox team, like, I can't tell you how excited I am for this. Because it's going to be some pretty incredible stuff. It's something that's never been done with a project like this before. So I'm super excited about that. Okay, and then nodes, workloads, replace. Did you catch what he said about Last Expedition? Everyone get that? Running Last Expedition on nodes, running Unity. You understand how important that is? Do you understand what that means? Okay, guys. So, here's the deal. There's going to be, we recognized yesterday that some stuff didn't go as well as we would have liked in terms of organization and flows of people. And some people didn't get to go see things that they wanted to see, and that's a bummer, and we don't like that. So today, what I'm going to do is it's going to be much more freeform in terms of
choosing where you want to go. I'm not going to like make some of you go into any particular place. It's basically going to be a little bit of a free-for-all today. Because it's what it ended up being yesterday, right? Yeah. Pretty much you all just sort of explored and saw what you wanted to see. So we're gonna do that again. But there's going to be a lot of, well, one of the other things that yesterday could have been improved upon is AMA scheduling, or at least letting people know about the AMAs. So for example, immediately after this, there's going to be an AMA for spider tanks in the Grit Saloon. I'm going to be there, so I'm going to invite whoever wants to come to go there. But everyone else who isn't interested in Silk and tokenomics and game things like that, I know nobody likes that, right? Does anyone want to hear about like Silk and stuff? Okay. Does anyone want to hear about Silk? Okay. Did you all party too much last night? I feel like maybe there's a little bit of like latent hangover happening right now. Okay. Stand up. We've done this before. We're gonna do it again. You guys have to wake the fuck up. Okay? Stretch. Get those arms high. Get the blood moving a little bit. Bounce up and down just a tiny bit. I'm not going to jump, so I don't want to break the fucking stage. Because I would totally do that. I would go straight through this bitch. And what I would like everyone to do is tell me, are you ready to go back into Galaverse? Open the doors. And those of you who want to go this way, go ahead. Those of you who want to head to the sides, go ahead. I'm going to go into an AMA in the Grit Saloon.